Amanda and her best friend Aisha were having sex. Emeka tried to wipe his face in chalk, but before him was a reality. The two women found themselves kissing in every secret spot they could find in the office.
As you read this interesting story, don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications and also comment.
In the busy city of Lagos, the scene opens to a very big office building, bustling with activity. The sun was already high, casting a warm glow over the cityscape. Inside the office, there was joy in the office as Amanda said, "Yes, I will marry you." The black-complexioned, muscular man in his blue-fitted suit slid the ring into Amanda's left third finger. With a smile on his face, he gently stood up from where he had been kneeling and kissed Amanda. The employees who had left their duty posts to witness the lovebirds' engagement shouted and clapped. No doubt it was written on most of the female employees' faces that they wished their engagement was with them. Emeka, the general manager of the media company, was a very handsome and caring man. He was soft-spoken and possessed the charming qualities every woman could wish in a man. Amanda was all smiles, raising her finger to show her female colleagues who admired the diamond ring. But the celebration lasted only a few minutes as Emeka thanked them for coming and ordered everyone to return to their work. Phones were ringing, keyboards clattering, and hushed conversation filling the air as the employees were immersed in their work. In the evening, Emeka waited for his fiancée in a bar, sipping wine from a glass, when he received a message from Amanda telling him that she couldn't meet up as there was much on her desk to cover up. Emeka smiled, thinking she might be having the normal mixed feeling all women have when about to get married, but he wanted to see his woman. Standing up from the couch, he called the attention of the waitress and cleared his bill. Taking his work suitcase, he walked to the car and drove down to the office. It was already very late, and only 2 cars were parked inside the company's premises. He recognized them as his fiancée's car and her best friend Aisha's car. Parking his car, he walked straight to the office. He moved to his fiancée's door, and upon opening it, he was confronted with the unexpected. Amanda and her best friend Aisha were having sex. Emeka tried to wipe his face in chalk, but before him was a reality. Amanda and Aisha quickly got up from the office table, where they were lying on top of one another, and grabbed their clothes on the floor as they were stark naked. Amanda never believed her fiancé would come back, and today of all days was the day they forgot to lock the door. Emeka was speechless and he quietly left. Amanda was just a newly recruited employee. Emeka had noticed her charming beauty and soft personality, and he was drawn to her. They started dating, and within a month, he had decided to take the relationship a step further by proposing to the woman of his dreams. He had officially made it known to everyone that he intended to marry Amanda. Little did he know that his intending wife was a lesbian. But how did she become attached to Aisha within this 1 month of working in this company? Emeka asked in confusion as he drove off, feeling bad. The couple were already living together just a week before this discovery. Emeka had told Amanda to move in with him as they both had started planning their future. That night, Emeka couldn't sleep. He waited all night for Amanda to come home, but his fiancée slept outside, obviously with her lesbian lover. Emeka sat in his living room, his gaze fixed on the big-sized television and papers scattered across his table. Despite the movie playing on the television, his mind was elsewhere, weighed down by personal turmoil. His thoughts kept drifting back to Amanda, his fiancée, and the events that had unfolded the previous night. He had told her to move in with him as they started planning their future together. But last night, Amanda hadn't come home, and Emeka knew where she had spent the night with her lover Aisha. Emeka had barely slept, waiting in vain for Amanda. When morning came, he felt too weak to go to work. Knowing he wouldn't be able to concentrate, he decided to stay home, hoping Amanda would return. But when a knock came on the door, it wasn't Amanda, it was Aisha. Aisha was quiet and avoided her boss's eyes as she walked into the big, luxuriously furnished room. She knew she wasn't welcome, but had come with a purpose. "Please, we need to talk," she said, sitting down. Emeka's eyes were red with anger as he looked at the woman before him. He remained silent, standing with his hands on his hips, waiting for her to speak. Aisha took a deep breath and began, knowing she had to explain. But then she yelled, "I looked into your profile last night and found out you were a divorcee," Emeka said, getting straight to the point. "Tell me, was that the reason why your husband divorced you?" Aisha was speechless hearing that. She had not expected Emeka to dig into her past, but there was no use denying it now. She nodded, ready to tell her story. She was 25 and very young when she married her husband. Tunde was from the West, a kind-hearted and diligent man, known for his unwavering dedication to his work and to his love for his wife Aisha. They had been married for 3 years with no issue, and to everyone in Alaba, they seemed like the perfect couple. Aisha was a housewife who kept the house in order and welcomed her husband every evening. Despite their seemingly happy life together, Aisha harbored a secret she had never shared with anyone. Aisha had always known she was different. From a young age, she felt an attraction to women that she couldn't quite explain. Growing up in a conservative family, she buried these feelings deep inside, hoping they would disappear. When she met Tunde, she was drawn to his kindness and stability, and she thought that maybe, just maybe, marrying him would help her fit into the mold society had created for her. For years, Aisha tried to convince herself that she was happy. She loved Tunde in her own way, but there was always a part of her that felt incomplete. As time went on, she began to feel more and more isolated in her skin. Her diary became an outlet for her art and emotions, reflecting the turmoil she felt inside. One Saturday morning, Tunde came back from his usual jogging section and was searching the room for his misplaced gold ring when he found Aisha's diary beneath her pillow. He was not interested in women's writing, but opening it out of curiosity, his eyes widened in disbelief. He was flabbergasted, reading what he never imagined his wife would write. The diary was full of emotions and too real to ignore, with many entries about Aisha wanting to make love to another woman. He tried to remove the thoughts from his mind, but then remembered the many times Aisha had refused to make love to him on the flimsiest of excuses. With the diary in his hand, he went downstairs to the dining table where Aisha was setting the table for breakfast. Tunde stretched the diary out to her. Aisha rushed to collect it from him and asked, "How did you find this?" But Tunde was quiet. Aisha was uncomfortable with his silence and realized he must have gone through her private diary. They had a peaceful conversation that morning and agreed on a divorce. Tunde was ready to set her free so she could be herself and live the life she desired. Their once happy marriage ended, and Aisha found a job to support herself before she met Amanda, a new employee at her workplace. Amanda was vibrant, confident, and unapologetically herself. She and Aisha quickly became friends, spending hours talking about art, life, and everything in between. Amanda felt an instant connection with Aisha, a connection she had never felt with anyone before. As their friendship deepened, Amanda began to realize that her feelings for Aisha was more than just platonic. The two women found themselves kissing in every secret spot they could find in the office. At that moment, everything became clear to Amanda and Aisha. They could no longer deny who they were. Still, Amanda struggled with her emotions, torn between her loyalty to Emeka and the undeniable truth about her own identity. Aisha, sensing Amanda's inner conflicts, remained patient and supportive, never pushing her to make a decision, until that day when Emeka unexpectedly proposed to Amanda. They had stayed late, and their intimate discussion led to a long lovemaking session, which was abruptly interrupted by Emeka's sudden entrance. "This is my resignation letter, sir. Please spare Amanda," Aisha said, dropping the folded paper on the center table and walking past Emeka. She halted at the front door as she heard Emeka's voice. "Please tell her to come and get her belongings from my house. I do not want to see her again, and I wish you two a happy ending." Amanda entered the house trying to drag her bag inside. Aisha had come to help her move the things when she noticed the tears streaming down her lover's face. She paused to look at Amanda. "He sacked me," Amanda said, giving her the letter. Aisha felt bad. The reason she resigned was so that Amanda could continue working while she tried to find another job. "We both can't be jobless in this poor economy. But how do we find jobs in this big city of Lagos?" Aisha said, and she too went into tears. There was a whirlwind of emotions, confusion and sadness. The few weeks of job hunting were hectic for them as their savings dwindled day by day. Amanda was restless, waiting for Aisha, who had left the house in the morning to withdraw the 50,000 naira remaining in her account, so they could continue buying foodstuffs while looking for a job. As night approached, Amanda ran out of the house in fear to look for her partner. Just before reaching the main road, she noticed a crowd gathered and walked towards them. There had been an accident. A car had hit a woman and she was lying in a pool of blood. The accident had happened an hour ago, and it seemed the victim was dead. Amaka felt bad and sympathized with the people around her. She made to walk away, but on looking at the dead woman, Amanda let out a cry. Lo and behold, the victim was her lover, Aisha. Amanda cried uncontrollable amidst consolation from the people around her. She wept so hard that she felt her world had ended. Just these past weeks, she had watched Aisha spiral into despair, applying for countless positions and facing relentless rejections as they both struggled to find stable jobs. They didn't have much, but they supported each other with their very low savings as they embarked on this new journey of job hunting. The accident was a hit-and-run one, and no one could help her. And now Aisha was no more. Anger and a desire for revenge boiled within Amanda. She vowed to take down the man who had unceremoniously sacked her. Aisha's death was a breaking point for Amanda, transforming her grief into a burning desire for revenge. She vowed to take down the man who had cost her everything and avenge Aisha's suffering.
What do you think? Is her revenge necessary, or would she rather forget about all of this and move on with her life?